We speak to you now regarding your current now-time nexus point and your move into and through the time period we call the Samhain Gateway. This falls at the time that many of you know as Halloween, 31st of October into November the 1st, 2020, depending on where you are located upon your world. This is the time that the veils between the worlds thin, if you will, allowing the physical and spiritual realms to become more connected to each other and to come closer to one another. This is how Samhain, or Halloween, has been viewed traditionally upon your planet. Halloween is in fact a distorted, hijacked version of Samhain that bears little resemblance energetically to the true inception point of it. We would like to present to you the information that the energetics in your current time period, your current year, are different upon this Samhain than they have been before for many years. For upon this Samhain Gateway date, the veils shall not thin, if you will, but indeed shall disappear, allowing a full merge betwixt the physical and the non-physical. This has indeed happened afore upon your planet, but not for some years. And even then, it was not a full merge as it now shall be in your current now time. The reason for this is complex and convoluted with multiple streams. But the most predominant reason is the fact that the Esbat and the Sabbat coincide together, creating a synergistic cosmology betwixt the gateways. This causes a phase lock out of time, meaning you are in a kind of twilight zone or null zone 0 point field during this period. The full moon cycle coincides with the white wheel star quarter turn, precession of the equinoxes, planetary kundalini shift, and the full moon and the Samhain Halloween date are one and the same, 31st of October into November the 1st, 2020. This energetic will begin to build around the 27th of October and will peak on the Samhain date of the 31st of October and begin to expand into a new frequency, which will be in place for the rest of your year of 2020, peaking again in its fullest on the December solstice, 21st of December, 2020. Your months of November and December 2020 will hold extremely complex, multidimensional energetics. And it is this time period that we would call the eye of the storm, or the final conflict, if you will. Indeed, the populace of the domain known as America have and hold many questions. And whilst these questions are also held by those in other domains, other countries within your world, they are not so intense, repeated, heightened and continuous as those within the land of America. We therefore shall respond as best as we can to these quests, given the boundaries and etiquettes allowed. The question so many of you hold is regarding the time where you collectively appoint a new commander-in-chief, or keep your current commander for a second term of his service. We do not wish to influence energetics that may be nefarious eavesdroppers, if you will, within the broadcast that is our transmission and download. Therefore, we can speak only in metaphor in order to preserve the integrity of the field. What we say here is that all is destined and all has already occurred from our perspective. All intentions hold potential, but most fall by the wayside as they do not hold cohesion. So the only intentions that hold cohesion are those with direct line service to self and those with expanded lines of intention via service to others. The expansion aspect in this field, service to others, is hope and prayer. The line of intention is knowing and manifestation. The service to self lines come in not as lines of intention, but as demand. These are castings. The demonic is caught and is ordered to do the bidding of the dark coven. The demonic expects the reward of that which we can name the Rumpelstiltskin program. As long as the program is replenished, then the demonic will do the bidding that is ordered of it. This has worked most well for the service to self factions for many eons. However, at this point, due to the Warrior of Light alliance teams, the Rumpelstiltskin program reward supplies have dwindled drastically. The demonics are not receiving that which they asked for. A demonic will only acquiesce to its capture, trapping and demands when it knows the perceived jewels and treasures it relies on as sustenance for its very life force are available and in constant supply. If these perceived jewels and treasures are not forthcoming, the demonic can thus decide to rise up and trap its master as its own victim and take the master as its sustenance in place of the failed bounty. This has not yet occurred, yet much hangs upon the result of the Commander-in-Chief duel. The service to self factions are thus realizing that this time for them is make or break, if you will, and is thus the last stand or the final conflict. Yet due to the uncertainties as to how the demonic will rise up against them should they fail to deliver the promised bounty within the Rumpelstiltskin program, the casting is fraught with static, interruption and distortion. It is no longer a clear line or a clear command due to the disharmonious dark magical frequencies that are created. The demonic no longer bows in service to its master, but indeed threatens its master, and the dark masters are not used to being threatened. This convoluted energetic creates a bounce back, and no matter which way the dark masters attempt to dodge the bounced back signal, it still manages to skim the hem of the Dark Master's robes and pull them from their solid stance into a free-fall movement. Like a cat, they land on all fours and survive. But a cat only has 9 lives. These cats are now on their 9th life, if you will, and all hangs upon the result of the Commander-in-Chief duel. The Warriors of Light and the expansive, focused lines of intention have grown exponentially since your March Equinox 2020. Prior to that, they were already enough to create the timelines for your Earth. Now they hold the higher energetic and create timelines not only for Earth, but also for Gaia, Tara, Terra, the 5th dimensional planetary system that is New Earth. The probability, therefore, given the frequencies that project intention into the pre-matter fields that then become actuality and physicality, is that your current Commander-in-Chief is he who wins the duel, as it were, and takes his place for that which you call second term. However, this is the outcome based on the organic energetic, as in the true winner of the duel. Due to the fact that the service to self factions cannot raise enough intention in order to overshadow the light, as it were, they can in some way pretend that the duel has been won by them. Now this is a much lower probability outcome. Should this outcome become manifest in your reality, then it shall boomerang back and true justice shall prevail. Yet so too does the organic outcome hold a potential reaction, engineered, not organic, but this shall be the pretense that the fighter who wields the red sword against the fighter who wields the blue sword within the duel, the fighter who wields the red sword did cheat and swindle. This falsehood shall be brought before the esteemed council of the wise, and again true justice shall prevail. Either way, in response to your callings and questionings, we say to you, and we cannot say to you strongly enough, true justice shall prevail. We repeat, true justice shall prevail. Once true justice has prevailed, and the rightful winner of the duel takes his place as crowned king of the new Atlantis, the Aquarian and Atlantean energy shall merge. This is the expanded energetic of the Samhain gateway. It is a merging and coming together on all levels. At this point, the true American flag shall be flown, and all those who hold integrity, honour, and the visions of liberty for all shall be then sworn in with self-pledged allegiance to the king. A merging of what we call domains, that you know as countries or places, shall then take place. Indeed, the New World Order Armageddon timeline looks so similar to the New Earth Paradise timeline. Yet one is control from the few over the all through command and order, and the other is the unified Knights of the Round Table structure through love, compassion, unity, and service. Yet both hold resets and shifts within the systems upon your planet. Both hold financial resets, health system changes, education reconstructing, justice repositioning, old law becoming new, redefining of domain boundaries within countries and states, and spiritual renewal. The snake shall shed its skin within both Armageddon and Paradise core templates. One shall emerge as the serpent of the sea, the other the dragon of the land. For a while the two shall coexist. Yet the dragon, bound at first, shall become unbound and take to the skies. It is then that the serpents shall leave the oceans entirely, and shall either join their brethren on the land, or will leave your planet and make their homes elsewhere within the vast cosmic reality of space and time. Yet within that vastness there shall be much limitation, for negative polarization at some point must also enter into the merge. For this is the law of the multiverse, and it is the way it is. The energetic of your Samhain Gateway 2020 therefore brings with it much change, and is the crux of the great revealing. It is the time when each and every soul on earth steps into their power, discovers their mission, and becomes a master in their field. Professions of workforce shall be respected like no other time in your known history, and the most menial tasks shall be revered like never before. Thus, after a time, your class system is reshuffled and eventually is no more. Samhain holds the energetic of your planet Saturn. Yet there are multiple shades of the true planetary original, and all in your solar system is an emanation of an idea, creation, or consciousness. This is the Genesis Genius template that is fully formed within your Samhain gateway, and is therefore fully aligned with the third eye seat of God chakra, or your pineal gland, the crystalline window into all that is. This holds the frequency ray of indigo, and this is that which is now seen in its fullest clarity as you approach the end of your year of 2020 and move into your December solstice. The indigo ray, indigo revolution, indigo uprising, and indigo awareness is the sovereignty and solidarity of a unified humanity. The indigo frequency is the Genesis Genius template where all souls on earth walk the path of mastery in their chosen field. What may look like destruction is in fact reconstruction in a new form. Yet two factions are vying for either a new world order or the new earth. Only that which holds sustainability is that which shall stand strong as you go forward. Now is the time for the light lines of intention to create and manifest all that the heart desires. Joy and bliss are the building blocks. And whilst your joy and happiness remain targets from the negative elite factions, they can only reach the joy and bliss up to the middle echelons of the fourth dimension. Once you reach the higher echelons of the fourth dimension and move into the fifth dimension, your cup overfloweth with joy. For there you have space to breathe, domains in which to live, and abundance as the match to your desires without attachments to them or resistance to not having them. This is flow, and this is where you shall find your bliss, for bliss is itself the fifth dimension. Bliss is the creational template that shall be the fabric of the lines of intention that create the commander-in-chief for the next tetragrammaton of time and the high courts of justice that shall preside with integrity and fairness over all that is yet to come. Take the geometric codices of our transmission at this time and utilize them as the very fabric for your Merkaba travels through the great indigo Samhain gateway of 2020. We are the white-winged collective consciousness of 9. What is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karma-free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lemuria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lemuria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on the Earth, Lemuria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the reader as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and Stargate ascension. This transmission is dear to my heart, and I'm so very pleased to announce my new book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria.